Cheers. All right, we've already got a few people in the chat. Excellent. 5 people have already given it a thumbs up. I haven't done anything yet. But that's nice of you. Thank you very much. I hope you guys can hear me, that everything is working. Got Carl in the house, Ned, Ingham, Army, Brian, Hightower. Good morning from Florida. No service calls for you this morning. Very good. Joseph, somebody from Alabama. Catlin, Pearl Cab, Almighty Om. I like that. Scott's in the house. Aloha from Hawaii. Mara, as always, is around. Thank you, Mara. She's one of the ones who's going to give up her calendar, which is very nice of her. Singapore is in the house. Jalax, very nice. Bruce, Wisconsin. Jay is here. Scott, Atlanta. Quick Shot, LP, David, Matt, or Matthew. I've got Matthew on the brain because I'm rewatching Daredevil Season 3 to get ready for the new Daredevil that's going to come up in March. Because I don't think I ever watched Season 3. I saw 1 and 2 and I loved it. Never watched Season 3 for some reason. Tina, Brian, NR, K. Rain, Craney Salo, somewhere over the Atlantic between London and Dallas. Wow, are you literally on an airplane right now? That's crazy if you are. What an amazing world 2025 is. Biscuit, greetings from Illinois and Ontario, Canada. Wow, everybody's all over the place. That's awesome. Another person, Barney from Canada. All right, guys. So amazing that so many of you came by. Maybe you're all hoping that you get the old calendar or the T-shirt, and you're hoping we get to that. We'll get to that in a minute. Give me a few minutes to get to that. We got to roll some random dice and figure it out. That reminds me, I should have a piece of paper and a pen. Let me move this and grab a piece of paper to write down the winners. So what do you guys think? Hopefully a bunch of you have had time, if you're a Patreon member, to watch the videos for day 7, because obviously spoilers. We are going to talk about what happened on day 7. Netherlands. The Netherlands is in the house. Wegwezen. UK. Soggy kipper. It's terrible when you get a soggy kipper. A kipper's a fish, right? Yeah, it was quite the sumo day, as somebody in the chat just mentioned. So, Wisconsin, Romania. Okay, well, look at that. Europe's here. So we should talk about what happened today. Look ahead to the day 8 matches on Nakabi, the middle Sunday, and then get to channel business with the giveaways and whatnot. Colin's here from Scotland. Well, that's a terrible Scottish accent, but there you go. Chicago. JDB from the Philippines, the PI, the Philippine Islands. Very nice to see you. All right, let me share my screen. I hope this goes well. I always have to check back that it's actually not gone black for you guys as I share here. So let me try to share my screen here. Okay. So yeah, I just wanted to share. Now, how do I check back to make sure? Are you guys seeing a big card of Alan Ishiki and Shishi on your screen? Somebody let me know. Are you seeing big sumo cards? Hello from Poland, Albuquerque, New Mexico. Check. Okay, good. So I just wanted to show you some of the cards. I opened a box today, and they're really fun. I'm going to do I have a whole second box I'm going to open live on camera, because obviously I need, you never get a whole set out of one box, and I didn't get any special cards. But here's the Shishi card, for example. He was Maigashiro when they made the set, so they put him in as a Maegashira. Jurio Aonishiki. This little mark here means he's a rookie. So that's his rookie card. I just thought that was fun. Really fun card of the three Waka brothers, for instance, in one of the subsets. So Wakataka Kage and Wakamoto Haru, though, not having the best of tournaments. I have to check on Waka Takamoto, see how he's doing. Then here are the four main guys. I was able to get all of them. Terunofuji card. And then you might be able to see it in this picture, but what they've done is they've added this kind of sparkly coating to one random card per pack. So you can see it here on the whole Shoryu card. So you get 20 of those per box. I don't, are some people going to want to buy and have a whole set of sparkly? Maybe. I'm not. But there you go. Onosato, Hoshoryu, Kotozakura, and the Yokozuna. His last time he'll be in a set. And there's what the box looks like. And you get 20 packs for 8,000 yen. And I paid a little less than that because I bought 3 at one time. And I got free shipping because I live in Japan. So that was kind of fun. Just thought I would show you there. It says dropping frames. Oh, no. Okay. Oh, Vegan Sumo. Hello, Satsuma. Thank you so much for your card. Okay. Hi. Nice. Thank you so much. That was really nice. Okay. How did you buy it? Jalak says. Well, obviously, I live here in Japan, so there's tons of options for me to buy cards here. You just go on to one of the online shops and you order them. And, they're basically retail price. You don't get a huge discount. I think I paid 7,600 yen per box. So about retail. But I got them the day they came out, right? I pre-ordered them and they came out on Friday, and I got them on, the guy knocked on my door on Friday and they were there. So if you want to buy them and you're not in Japan, I would recommend Big Sumo Fan. I know Robert gets some in. So go to bigsumofan.com. He will ship internationally. And I'm not sure what his price is, but it's usually reasonable. And I am going to be giving away a box. That's why I have a third box as a prize in the contest, either this time or in March. So there's a chance you could get one like that. Yeah, and just check around. eBay and Yahoo auctions and other places will have them. Just don't pay a ton. They tend to basically be steady. And then maybe 6 months from now, especially when the new set comes out, you'll actually find the current boxes, people over order or whatever, and they'll actually be cheap. You can maybe sometimes get them for 6,000 yen instead of 8,000 yen. So they usually don't get scarce right away. Okay. Oh, Carl's saying that Robert is currently sold out. That's a bummer. Maybe he'll try to get some more in. I'll try to ask him. He emails me every now and then in the Basho times. Abundance of love says, hey, been loving you for years. Well, you've got an abundance of love, so you got to spread it around. Thanks for helping me get into sumo. You are very welcome, my friend. One of the pleasures of doing this for so many years is so many people that say, hey, you're the one who, your channel really got me interested in sumo. I just saw it randomly on YouTube one day. The algorithm said, hey, look at this video. And I went down the wormhole, and there you go. So I'm very, very much cognizant of the fact that some people, I am the gateway drug to the larger world of sumo. So my pleasure. Yeah, they're really fun, Pineapple. I don't go crazy. Some of the people on my, I have a group on Facebook where we trade and all this kind of stuff. Some people go really crazy and they want to collect, everything and all the autographs and, I just enjoy them. It's just fun to open cards. I used to do it when I was a kid with Marvel cards and I never really did sports cards. I always did non-sports cards, but I never got into Pokemon cards or any of that craziness. But yeah, it was just fun. It's just fun. There's only two sets a year usually, so it's not a huge outlay of money if you just want to buy one box of each set every year and then trade for the extras you need. Yeah. The autographs are absolutely printed. Here is I showed it the other night. Here is a card from an old set, and this is the marker. And they're authenticated by this company. This company is a very well-known company in Japan. They're called BBM. It stands for, I think, Baseball Magazine. But they branch out and do other sports. Certificate of authenticity. It's numbered out of this, in this case, 90. This is a authentic Terunofuji autographed card, and it's even got like a stamp. You can't really see it, but it's like a watermark stamp that's like into the material. So they're really hard to you can kind of see it right there by my finger. They're really hard to counterfeit, and this is from a 2021 set. So one of the few. I have an autograph, of most of the Yokozuna in one set or another over the years. I have a Kakeru, I have a Harumafuji, I have a Hakuho, I have a Terunofuji. I don't know if I have a Kisenosato. And of course, I have, like, every time he's had an autograph, I've got one. So if you have a particular wrestler you like, Wakamoto Haru, for some reason, signs a lot of cards. Ura has been in the set a bunch of times, really popular guy. So certain guys come up more often. Are you drinking Pocari Sweat? Colin asks. No, I'm drinking a somewhat adjacent product called Aquarius. It's a sports drink. Um, you know, put some. I just don't like water. I put it here. I've got it right here by my computer. I know I'm supposed to drink more water in my life, but I just like stuff with flavor in it. So I don't often drink as much water as I should. It's 11:40 in Brazil in the morning. Yes. Nice to catch you live. Nice to catch you, Norberto. Nice to see you. I don't know how to say hello in Portuguese. Please teach me. What is it? Buenos dias. Buenos dias? Is that how you say good hello in Spanish? Oh my God, I'm forgetting all my Spanish. Hola is hello, right? Okay. Hi. Buenos dias might be good morning, but I don't know how to say it in Portuguese. 6:40 a.m. in Vegas. Yeah, I knew it'd be early for anybody in California, and obviously people in California have a lot more on their mind than Sumo. But anybody on the West Coast of America, it'd be early for you. But had to pick a time. It's obviously late for me. It's getting close to midnight, but I don't have to get up tomorrow, so it's okay. Bom dia. Okay. All right. Good day, buenos dias. Okay, good. Sorry, little sniffle there. Okay, so let's jump in, and again, hopefully, I can still see the chat, and you can still see me. I want to go to the whoop, whoop. Okay, I see. All right, you can see. Good. Okay. San Diego, Mark, you're here from San Diego. I hope it doesn't get down to you. That's where obviously my sister and niece are. So I'm hoping they can start to contain it. Okay. So let's look at what happened. Absent Rikshi, perhaps you heard Roga pulled back out of the tournament after only coming back for a couple days. And he gave his walkover win to Chio Shoma. So, yeah, kind of funny. Chio Shoma, of all the wrestlers who can get a free win, he was already 6-0. He didn't need it in that sense, but I'm sure he enjoyed getting it without having to wrestle. Hoshoru was a beast today. Yeah, that Hoshoru Oho match is great. Yeah, I was torn. I was kind of like, I want Oho to keep doing well, but I really do. I think it'd be fine if Hoshoru gets promoted to Yokozuna. We're going to talk about that. We're going to look at the poll and everything that I put out. A lot of you voted, so thank you for that. We'll get to that in a minute, but yeah. Howdy from Texas to Buck. Mongoose is also there from Central Texas. Hello to you, gentlemen. So nobody really absent today. Okay, so let's go to results. We'll start down in Jurio like we always do on the Sumo Summary Show. Um, Hakuyozan losing again, 2 straight days, now 5-2. Waka Ikari, 6-1. I'll have to try to pull up his see who he's fighting on day 8 and maybe put that match up on the Patreon. He is just doing so well. Oshomi getting a second loss today to go to 5-2. But Aonishiki, the man from Ukraine, at 6-1 by beating Daisei-zan. Asakura went to 5-2 by beating Ryuden, giving him a second loss. Tsurugisho still winless at 0-7 now. Tomorrow, if he loses, it'll be a Make Koshi. Shishi, the other man from Ukraine, trying to bounce back up to the top division with a win today to go to 6-1. And Satanomi beat Shirokuma in the final match of the Juryo division today. So one Juryo won at 4-3, one Juryo won at 3-4. So both very still capable of getting their Kachikoshi. So that's Juryo action. Oh, I keep moving that to look at you guys, and then I realize I have to come back here. Another person from Hawaii. Didn't watch day 7 yet, Bruce. Well, I'm about to spoil it, so you can go away for 10 minutes and come back maybe. But yeah, I am going to talk about day 7 matches. You should still obviously watch the matches. They're really good today. Kim Bozan is looking fantastic, Mongoose. Yeah, Hoshota rubbed some people the wrong way, but I honestly, there was one point in the match where he looked back at Oho, like kind of over his shoulder like that, and I think that was a look of like, oh, is he okay? Should I stop and go back and help him up? Is he going to be okay to get up by himself? It looked more like a look of concern to me than a, oh man, I just beat you look. So things can be misinterpreted. Yeah. Uh, Yeah, I think he's just, he has to pump himself up. He has to tell himself he's the best person on the dohyo at that moment to give himself the confidence to win. And yeah, you know, uh, I think, you got to tell yourself that when you're an athlete, right? That you're the best there is and you're out there and you're going to win. And especially in a one-on-one sport where it's all down to you and the other guy. You know, I honestly know very little about him off the dohyo. Like I don't know that I've ever seen an interview with him. I've seen him kind of joking around and smiling with some of the other wrestlers sometimes in like footage of like the regional tours and stuff. Maybe he's a very jovial guy when he's not in the ring. I have no idea. So you all kind of all you get is, for years I thought Kiseno Sato was this stern uh, you know, unfunny, just stoic guy. And after he finished wrestling and retired and then became a coach, he's the most jovial, affable guy when he goes on to do like the commentary and when people say they meet him in real life and they ask for his autograph and stuff. So it's hard, you've got to put on that front maybe when you're a wrestler, your game face or whatever they call it, right? Yeah. So, all right. Yeah, the American sports mentality. Well, we don't have anybody calling anybody out. There's no trash talking. Did any of you watch that video I linked? Isagahama Bea and just the sincere expressions of gratitude on all the guys they interviewed in Isagahama stable to Terunofuji for his guidance, his mentorship, his coaching over the years, the admiration they have for the struggle he went through when he went down, 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 down to the 5th tier division and then came back up and didn't just come back up to fight again like Wakatake Kage or Asanoyama did briefly or whatever. I mean, he rose back up to Ozeki and then Yokozuna. I mean, that's still going to be an amazing story if you were a witness to that as a sumo fan that you can tell, people 5 years, 10 years from now. Well, this guy's good, but let me tell you about this guy named Terunofuji, man. Listen to what he did. And so, yeah, it was really nice to see that. And it's so great that they're putting that out there very timely and with subtitles, with English captions that were mostly pretty good. So yeah, it was really nice that they did that. Okay, hi. So let me go back over and continue. So for those of you who haven't seen day 7, avert your eyes. Here we go to Makuchi. Hakuoho got a win to start the day. The early matches from the first half will be in my coverage that I'll put up tomorrow morning. I taped the overnight highlight show and then put up all these matches so you get to see them. Kimbozan beat Toki Hayate. He's 7-0 on top of the leaderboard. Kageyaki versus Kotosho both went into this match with 1 win. Kageyaki emerged with 2. Nishiki Fuji beats Shonana Umi. Onokatsu taking care of Kipta Nowaka today. Yay, Tamawashi 6-1. Fantastic tournament for the veteran. Beat Nishikigi today. Takeda Fuji doing well as everyone expected, way down at Maegashira 11. Beat Oshoma today. He's 6-1. Midori Fuji has just fought so well this tournament, but can't get wins. He's at 1-6 now after losing to Chirana Umi today. Takara Fuji, the other veteran, beat Meisei. Takayasu 4-3, beating Mitakeumi. Here's Roga pulling out of the tournament again. I don't think he'll be back. Chiyoshima now 7-0, so he's on top of the leaderboard. Hirata Umi beat Endo, both men 3-4. Ura took care of Ichi Yamamoto. I just caught that match as I was setting up my equipment for the second half. Tobizaru beat Shodai to go to 5-2. Wakitakake is struggling. Komusubi, he's now 3-4. He lost to Kirishima, who's really turned things around. He is, won 4 in a row now after losing 3 in a row. So yeah, just really good to see that because I'm a Kirishima fan. I want him to do well. Abi losing to Takanosho to give Takanosho just his second win of the tournament. I wonder what it's like to be a wrestler at, day 8, like Takanosho and some at Shodai and some of these guys, and have only 2 wins. You've lost 5 times. You can only lose 3 more times. You need 6 more wins to get your Kachikoshi out of 8 days. It's got to be pretty daunting. But, obviously each day you got to take it one day at a time. So he still has a chance, Takanosho, to get his Kachikoshi. Wakamoto Haru, though, looking even worse than his brother. He's at 1-6 now. He lost to the other Sekewake Daisho, who's now 5-2. Onosato taking care of Atami Fuji. Some people were hoping that Atami Fuji would win that to claim all 3 Ozeki in a row, but Onosato was having none of that. This was a fun match, though. You should check that out if you can. Go over to Don Don Sumo. I bet you some of these matches are in his top 5 of the day video that he makes. And then we had the big one, the showdown between undefeated Oho and Hoshoru. Hoshoru, obviously, you can see here, won to give Oho 1 loss, and Hoshoru maintains his 1 loss. He's now 6-1. And then Kotozakura getting a win in the final match of the day, still showing up for work. 2-5 now, beating Gonoyama, the Maegashira 3, in the final match of the day. All right, let me check in on the chat here. Yeah, Tamawashi is great to see him doing so well. Roga has a torn hamstring from what I saw. I don't see him back yet. I don't think he's coming back. Obviously they come back to try to get a few wins to mitigate their fall down the Bansuke, but it just wasn't working for him. You could tell he could really not move a lot with that leg all bandaged up like it was. Yeah. Army, I haven't heard anything about what's going to happen. Obviously, with the Terunofuji situation, will he take over for Isagahama? Isagahama is going to retire this year. He turned 65. The stable master of the Terunofuji stable, with Atami Fuji and Takara Fuji and Midori Fuji. A bunch of the guys are in the same stable, as well as they absorbed Miyagino, the Hakuho stable, when there was some problems with their stable. So Hakuoho fights out of that stable now, etc. I'm hoping they'll let Hakuho go back off and be on his own because it's been, I want to say, what, a year and a half now. Maybe it's not that long. It feels like it's been that long. But yeah, I haven't heard anything. Who's going to inherit? I've heard Homare Fuji is going to take over as the new Oyakata at the Isagahama, and it's not going to be Terunofuji. He's going to get his own thing going. His, because he's got 5 years as a Yokozuna. That's one of the privileges you get after you retire. You can just kind of hang out. You can still use your own name. You don't have to change to an Oyakata name. And he's got a lot of time to figure out what he's going to do. Okay. Hi. So let's go back up. Leaderboards here. So 2 guys undefeated after 7 days. Both of these guys could get their Kachikoshi tomorrow. Chiyoshoma and Kim Bozan. I doubt many of you picked them in the contest as the first person to get their Kachikoshi in the tiebreaker. But who knows? Maybe one of you picked one of them. And so we'll see. Now they could both lose tomorrow, but they have the first chance to get Kachikoshi. And then here you have the 4 guys that are at 6-1 now: Hoshoru, Oho, Tamawashi, and Terunofuji. So a fun group, all vying for the Emperor's Cup. Obviously, a lot of people want this man Hoshoru to win it, but all of these guys are definitely in the hunt. Down in Juryo, 3 guys tied for 6-1: Shishi, Aonishiki, and Waka Ikari. So I'll keep my eye on those. Won't have much Juryo coverage if you're over on Patreon in the week coming up because of school, but I will put up a few more matches tomorrow, and then the final weekend, day 14 and day 15, of course, I'll have more for you. And then we go down into the other divisions. I think Enho is doing fairly well down in his division. Let's see. Okay. Anything else? Oh, we want to look ahead at, let me just check back over. I think we want to look ahead at what's going to happen on day 8. I'm late to the party, was just finishing Patreon, Scott. Hello, Scott. Well, that's good. The party is happening, man. Crack open the Aquarius and have a drink. Yeah, Kotozakura on your team and Wakataka Kage. That's tough. That's tough. I do have Wakataka Kage. Like you, I have him. I have Kirishima, which was really terrible the first 3 days. Now he's turned it around a bit. I have a bunch of the popular guys on my team. I have Hakuoho. I have Terunofuji. I think I picked Takayasu. And at the very top, I have... Who did I pick at the very top? Hoshoru, right? I think I have Hoshoru. Anyway, I have it written down somewhere. I can't remember. Yeah, Chiyoshoma, man, just eating it up. He had such a great November tournament. He's on his way to another special prize. Is Tamawashi fought someone born after he turned pro? That's an interesting question. I can look it up for you real quick. Why not? So he obviously came over from Mongolia. Gotta wait for it to fill in here. So he made his debut in Sumo in 2004, his Juryo debut in 2008. So if we go 2004, that was obviously 20 years ago. And yeah, he might have to fight Atami Fuji, I think, was born in 2004. So definitely there's guys that are really young. 2008, that would, most of the guys are born before 2008, obviously. So, but yeah, he's definitely been in sumo. There was somebody that fought the other day, and I pointed it out in the video, where the one opponent was 20 and the other opponent was 35, which I thought, wow, that's 15 years. I mean, when this guy, started sumo, the 35-year-old probably started sumo when he was 20, and his opponent would have been 5 years old at that time, type of thing. So there you go. Who is the most recent Japanese Yokozuna? Yes, as they say in the chat, Kiseno Sato, but very, very short time. He was only Yokozuna for about a year. And I think he was 7 basho total or something, and most of those he sat out with an injury because he hurt himself getting the championship that made him Yokozuna. And the thing with Kiseno Sato was he was the most consistent Ozeki we've had, like in my whole time watching. He was just always in there, but he just happened to be an Ozeki at the time of peak, Hakuho. And he rarely won Yusho, and he could never get 2 back-to-back to get promoted. And when it finally happened, he actually beat Terunofuji to get the win he needed to get promoted. He hurt his shoulder, and it just never got better, and he had to retire after being a Yokozuna for only about a year. But Japanese fans went crazy. Tickets became impossible to get overnight. So yeah, if Kotozakura had turned up this tournament and he was doing well, the Japanese press and everything would start to pay attention. Unfortunately, Hoshoru getting promoted is just not going to be as exciting for them because it's like, yeah, okay, another Mongolian. We've had 5 of those guys or whatever now, so it's almost expected. Every Mongolian that's been Ozeki ends up being Yokozuna. So Kirishima's, sorry guys for the sniffy sounds. Kirishima's the first guy who hasn't fulfilled that yet. Now that doesn't mean he won't in the future, but he would be the first Ozeki Mongolian that doesn't become Yokozuna if that never happens for him. Yeah, 12 basho is Yokozuna. There you go. And I think he sat out 7 of them. You'd have to check. Just jump over to Wikipedia and look at his stats there. Terunofuji was born in 2002. Okay. So somebody I was looking at, maybe it was Aonishiki. Somebody was born in 2004 that I was looking at the other day. But we have guys coming up that I think, everybody thinks, I think everybody kind of agrees that Onosato will become a Yokozuna. Whether it's this year or next year, it's going to happen. And he is Japanese. And so I think the fans that's why there's a lot of pressure, not pressure so much yet on him, but a lot of eyes are on him. And a lot of people think, okay, he is the next Japanese Yokozuna. I mean, if Kotozakura can get it, that's nice. Oho had a lot of people looking at him just because of his lineage, the fact that he's the grandson of Taiho. But in the same way, Hoshoru has had to try to prove himself and step out from under the shadow of his uncle, Asashoru. So there you go. Terunofuji, yeah, I mean, he has ABCD. That's quite a username. He fully sat out for 4 tournaments. Was that all? Okay. We're talking about Kiseno Sato again. Yeah. Terunofuji, I think, also has all the, he has the big body. He has the really skinny legs, though, doesn't he? It's kind of funny. If any of you know comic books, there's a famous artist named Sergio Aragones who did all the little fill-ins in Mad Magazine, and he had this comic book called Gru, and he always drew Gru as this kind of big upper body and these little spindly legs. Whenever I see Terunofuji, I think of him as Gru. But that's a deep dive, so don't worry if you don't get that reference. Oho is pretty young. We can check it out real quick. Let's see. Oho. He was born in 2000, so he's going to be 25 in February. So pretty young, pretty young. Okay, let's look at the matchups for day 8. What stands out here? 4-3 Hakuoho taking on Nishikigi, 4-3. Terunofuji has Kitanowaka. Kimbozan against Tamawashi. Okay, so they're putting a 6-1 against the 7-0. That's a fun matchup on day 8 for the people watching the first half. Takayasu versus Oshoma, both guys 4-3. Chiyoshoma has Terunofuji. This head-to-head should be pretty massive. I would say they fought each other at least probably 20 times. Ura versus Endo, both men 3 and 4. Atami Fuji Gonoyama. Abi Tobizaru, usually a fun match there, with Tobizaru with a slightly better record right now. Kirishima taking on Wakamoto Haru. Yeah, I'm rooting for Kirishima in that matchup, I think. Daisho taking on Takanosho, and then our 3 Ozeki, Kotozakura versus Oho. Wakitaki Kage, the Komusubi against Onosato, and Hoshoru in the final match of the day has former Ozeki Shodai. So, yeah, I'm thinking that's a win for Hoshoru, right? I mean, the funny thing is Shodai kind of showed up today. I was saying in the video of that match, and he just couldn't get the win. But he at least was genki, as we say in Japanese. He was lively and looked like he was into it. Okay. I see. He fully showed up. I get what you're saying, Tube Wings. Okay, so he pulled out of 6 basho, like he started them, but then pulled out. He was only in 2 all the way through as a Yokozuna. That seems to be my memory, because he just wasn't very present and he just couldn't overcome the injury. Kirishima, wow. Adam says Kirishima will definitely be a Yokozuna. That is a bold prediction, Adam. Because he's got to make it, he doesn't get any special favors. He's got to get back to Ozeki in the normal way, 3 basho at Komusubi Sekewake level, getting 10 wins, 10 wins, 10 wins, actually 11, 11, 11 if you're going to go that way, to get to 33. And then he's got to win Yusho. He's not that young. Ooh, I don't know. That's a bold prediction, Adam. Let's see. Michael, fellow Gru fan. Yeah, I guess the scuttlebutt, Wegwezen, is that Takerufuji is obviously in the stable with Terunofuji, right? He's in Isagahama, and he likes to work out with weights. He's got a massive, upper body strength. He's really muscular and strong, and he's tall. He's got everything, but Terunofuji's been telling him, like, whoa. Pump the brakes a little bit on the weight training, and you got to work on your legs. You got to do traditional sumo keiko. You got to get in there, build up your legs, because your lower body, let's just call it that. And so I don't know if he'll take that advice, but that's what Terunofuji was telling him, to really achieve the best he can achieve. Yeah, Eli, I think a lot of people, I don't know. I still love the NFL. My Chargers didn't do so great, but I'm interested in the playoff games this weekend. I don't watch a lot of American sports. I don't watch basketball, baseball a little bit. I live in Japan, so you can't escape Shohei Ohtani. So I did watch the Dodgers, and I was happy that they won the World Series. But yeah, sumo's my thing. It's just so much fun. So okay, so now we're talking about Hoshoru's eligibility there. Yeah, it was Shodai was kind of the guy who got to Ozeki, and then he was sort of riding the system. When you get to Ozeki, you only really have to perform well every other tournament, because you can go Kadoban, you're not going to get demoted, and then the next tournament you don't have to get 10 wins or 9. You just have to get 8. You just have to get your Kachikoshi, and then you're fine again. So he did that a lot. He would show up, not wrestle so well, go Kadoban, have to get 8 the next tournament, and then he would show up and get his 8 or 9. And I forget how many Shodai won, but yeah, he wasn't my favorite, but some people like him, and he still has fans, and he'll stick around. I mean, look at Takayasu, Takayumi, even Tochinoshin. They all stuck around for quite a while after they fell from Ozeki. So Ozeki used to kind of like fall out and then they would retire. Like Kaio and Chio Taikai and some of the guys that I was first introduced to when I first started watching sumo in the early 2000s. but now they seem to stick around. They're still into sumo. They're young enough that they can still wrestle for a number of years. David, you do normally, the basic requirement to become a Yokozuna is you have to win 2 Yusho in a row. But recent Yokozuna have not had to do that. Terunofuji didn't, Kakeru didn't, and Kisenosato didn't. They all won a runner-up and then won a Yusho in either of those order. They either won the Yusho and then were a runner-up, or were a runner-up and then won a Yusho. I think most of them, they were a runner-up and then they won the next Yusho, and that was enough to get them promoted. Before that, Hanamafuji won 2, Hakuho won 2, Asashoru won 2. Most of the guys did the normal win 2 Yusho in a row. But recently they've invoked the Yusho or Yusho equivalent. And so that's what's getting Hakuho in the, he was runner-up with a good score to Kotozakura in November. So now if he wins this Yusho, but there's talk about like what should be the acceptable amount of wins that he should have to get. So that's where we go to the, let me share my screen again. We go to the poll. Okay. So let me make sure there I am. Okay. So I said 777 people voted. Wow. That's awesome, you guys. Thank you so much. 26% of you said yes, he should have to get a 14-1. So that basically means you think he should win every single match from now until day 15 because he's already got 1 loss. Others are saying it's okay if he loses 1 more, but he's got to win with at least a 13-2. That's the majority of you. Almost half of you, 45%. And then it falls off, right? Nobody thinks it's okay if he gets just a 12-3. Very few of you. Some of you are, have said, a Yusho's a Yusho, it doesn't matter. But most people think it's got to be a high scoring Yusho. It can't be a 15-0 because he's already got 1 loss. And then about a fourth of you, 23%, think he should have to win the Yusho this time and then win again in March. The traditional win 2 Yusho back to back. So, but if you put these 2 numbers together, that's about 70% of you think that if he wins this Yusho with at least a 13-2 or a 14-1, that he should become the next Yokozuna. And I did a similar poll. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Over on Patreon with not as many votes. So, okay, so I got to hit share, and then we'll go over to Patreon. All right, and you can see over there we got 188 votes, and again, kind of the same numbers. The majority of people, if you put these 2 numbers together, that's almost 70%, just under, think these are okay numbers. Very few think it's okay if he only gets a 12-3. And then again, just over a fourth of the people over on Patreon said, yeah, he should have to do the traditional 2 Yusho in a row. So very similar numbers on both polls. So yeah, I don't know what to say to you guys who think he should have to wait. And obviously now, come on. I mean, you can't discount the fact that the retirement of Terunofuji is going to weigh in on that decision. Because if he doesn't perform well and he can't be promoted to Yokozuna, we're going to have a period that we haven't had since the 90s with no Yokozuna, the no Kazuna period, as somebody I think on Tachi called it. And nobody really wants that. So, I mean, technically right now we're in a no Yokozuna period because he's not a Yokozuna anymore. He retired during the Basho, but obviously if Hoshoru gets promoted, it's, you won't even notice the difference. But so a lot of people are hoping that he gets it just so we don't have that spot vacant. But, he's got to earn it. I don't think I agree with most of you that if he gets a 12-3 and he doesn't perform really well this tournament, even if he wins the Yusho, that he shouldn't get it. So I think he's got to get I would say a 13-2 or a 14-1 is acceptable for me. And fight well. He's lost to one rank and file guy. He shouldn't lose to another one of those. If he loses one more, it should be to either Kotozakura or Onosato. I think a fellow Ozeki is acceptable, and that's about it. If he lost today to Oho, as well as Oho is doing, and as many top ranked guys he's fighting, he's still a Maegashira 3, right? So, yeah, Duncan saying 2 in a row. Scott, see you, man. Thanks for coming by. Heading off to work. Alphabet name guy. Alphabet name guy, what do you say? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I understand some people say he hasn't proven to be at that level. Some people will say, look, he didn't even have to fight a Yokozuna to become a Yokozuna because there was no Yokozuna in the November Basho when he was runner-up. He's not going to have to fight Terunofuji in this tournament, but he can't control who his competition is. So yeah, I understand the people who say, that he hasn't really put in the groundwork to deserve it, but I think the way sumo is right now in 2025, we need someone. But if he doesn't get, if he doesn't get the wins, if he loses two more matches, then no. I mean, and we'll have to wait. And then I think if he doesn't get it now, I think it could be Onosato before him. But yeah, I think the Sumo Association, if he gets a 14-1 or a 13-2, he will get promoted. Nan's asking, are tickets on sale for October in London yet? I don't think so. I went to the website and I signed up. I put my email in. Hey, notify me when tickets go on sale. Because, guys, it might cost me a lot of money, but I'm honestly thinking of going. Flying from Japan to London to see sumo in October. Now, I think most of you know that my mom and dad were born in England. So every relative in my family, except my sister and brother, are British. So I won't be staying in any hotels. I have cousins, and I don't have any aunts or uncles left, I don't think. Well, I do have a few uncles left, but they're fairly old now. But yeah, I'm staying with relatives the whole time. It'll be great to see people. My mom and dad, when they retired, they moved back to England because they never became American citizens, and they were green card aliens in California. But they didn't like, like the weather wasn't very good. They lived in California most of their lives, and they were far away from their niece and their granddaughter. Not their niece, their my sister and their granddaughter. So they moved back to California when my dad was probably about 70, and then they both passed away in the United States. So, so I went and visited them in 2003, just before I moved to Japan in 2004, and spent about a month in England in 2003. It was great. Had a fantastic time, but I haven't been back since, and that was 20 years ago. So I'd really like to go to England, see relatives. I love England, but it's expensive. It's expensive. It's far, but my most of my cost is the flight. And then once I get there, it's not, like I said, it's not like I'm staying in hotel rooms. And then I have to buy tickets to the event, and it'd be great to see a bunch of European fans, UK fans. Maybe we could have a meetup or something. So I am trying to think about it. I have to also see kind of what's on the calendar at school in October, because I wouldn't want to go for like 2 days. Obviously, I want to go for a week, et cetera, et cetera. John Gunning is hinting that something else he's going to announce tomorrow. So I'm going to be following his Twitter, his Blue Sky, something about something he's going to announce that he said is going to make European sumo fans very happy. So I don't know what that means. Maybe after England, they're going to go to Germany or France, or I don't know. So we'll see. Why do you think it's harder for Rikshi to be promoted? Ruiz asks. We did have an abundance of Yokozuna, but yeah, maybe we just had a different breed of wrestler back then. I don't know. With as wide open as some of the tournaments have been, where it's like anybody's game, and we have guys like Terunofuji winning when he's a brand new wrestler. Onosato won a couple, last year. Uh, yeah, I'm not sure. But yeah, we haven't had an overlap in a while. We haven't had two Yokozuna in a while. So, but we might have that this year if Hoshoru gets promoted now in March. I like I said, I think Onosato is going to get promoted this year, if he can, get things together. So we could have two Yokozuna by the end of the year. We'll just have to see. Mr. Da Vinci says, "See you there, bud." Yeah. No, I mean, I think Clo Beast. I think when you looked at the replay, it was a clear win for Kotozakura, but I mean, he kind of got hosed yesterday a little bit with the guy raising his hand, and he hadn't stepped out yet. Not that he necessarily would have recovered; he was in a bad spot, but obviously something's not right with him this tournament. It's he's not wrestling like the Kotozakura we normally know. So yeah, you just have to go. If you watch my Patreon video of it, you can see the replay and the slow mo and stuff. I have dual citizenship, dual citizenship, Bruce. Yes, I have a British passport and an American passport. Um, Yeah, I haven't heard, Eli. I mean, they did one a long time ago in Vegas, which I think would be phenomenal if they went back to Vegas. The Rikshi would love it. Hawaii is often said, because there's so many Japanese Americans. We used to have great sumo champions come from Hawaii. So yeah, I think Hawaii or Las Vegas would be fantastic. And of course, the East Coast as well, there's like a sumo and sushi or sake sushi sumo thing that goes on in the New England area or New York area every year that's really popular. So, yeah, I think, why not bring it to the United States? It's got to be one of their bigger foreign markets for foreign fans. Um, okay, so the other thing I wanted to do really quick, I am half red coat. That's true. But I was born in California. I'm an American through and through, uh, and yeah, I'm proud of being an American. In fact, uh, you know, despite what is happening in the country these days, I still am proud to be an American. Suso and Sumo in Washington D.C. I think that's right where it was. Okay, so I'd like to give away the prizes. Um, I'm just going to pick the numbers, and I'll let you guys witness that I picked the numbers. I can't show the list of people that signed up because their email addresses are on the form, and I don't want to put those up on screen. But you guys can witness that I am picking the number here. And so for the one prize, for the T-shirt, you had to be either a YouTube member or a Patreon member. And I think about 20 people have signed up to get the shirt. It's a huge 5XL shirt, like my size shirt. Excuse me. So I'm just going to do Google random number generator here. Random. I guess I could do it on screen there. Okay, why don't I do that? Can I do that? Let's see. Random number generator. Okay. Drum roll, Brian. Thank you, drum roll. 6XL, Ben One Eye. Yeah, I take a 6XL every now and then. This might even be a 6XL. This is, obviously my own brand of shirt. Well, the one I'm giving away is my own thing. It's got the Tokyo, Nagoya, Fukuoka, Osaka thing on it. But it's pretty comfy at 5XL, I must say. I need S. Well, if you're vegan sumo and you actually are a vegan, I can see why you'd be so slender. Hopefully a lot of you, if you signed up to get cards from me for New Year's for your children, those came. I had one person email me so far and say, oh, the cards came, the kids were so happy. So I hope you got those New Year's cards if you signed up for that. I did send them all. Okay, so let me share. And random number generator, share. Okay, can you guys still see me? All right, there we go. All right, so the one contest was 1 to 100. So this is not the official number. This is just me clearing the number. Okay, so as you can see, there it goes. Okay, so drum roll, Brian, or whoever else wants to drum roll. Here is the number for the shirt. Oh, it went way back down to 20. Okay, so that's the t-shirt number. And obviously, whoever's second closest, you'll be the runner-up in case the first person doesn't claim it. All right, now for the calendar, I was cheeky and I said, you got to pick a number from 1 to 2025. Okay, so again, this is not the real number. This is just me clearing the system. So there, oh, okay, now guys, come on. What is it? Iron Maiden? Is it Iron Maiden or Judas Priest? Who sings that song? 666, the number of the beast. Okay, hi. I'm not a religious person, but that is obviously the sign of the devil or something like that. So that's pretty funny. Okay, so here we go. This is the real number. Now I'm going to pick two because Mara has been nice enough to donate her calendar as well. So the first number is 872. Okay, and this is calendar. And the second number, oh, it went back down, 529. Okay. I'm going to do it a third time. This is not official. I just want to see if we get a number over 1,000. Okay, we did. We got 1786. Okay. So those are the two numbers for the calendar, 872 and 529. So if you got close to one of those, I'll email the winners tomorrow because I would like to maybe mail them out on Wednesday. I think I should have time on Wednesday. I get to kind of take a lunch break. I go off campus. I can go to the post office after I eat lunch. Of course, like always, if you're a Patreon member, I pick two people at random, send you something fun from Japan. If you're a channel member here on YouTube, I pick two people at random, send you something. If you're not in somewhere where I can easily send you something, I can send you a gift card. Just my way of saying thank you and paying it forward. I did donate on the behalf of all of you guys who send money and pay money. Normally it was back in the day, it was to the tip jar. Now I just, all the Patreon money and whatever to the fire relief fund for the LA fires. So, I sent $50 on behalf of Sumo fans. Yeah, I try to pay it forward as much as I can. And, that money that I get through Patreon nowadays is what's going to help send me to London, to be honest, if I get to go. So that'll be a lot of fun. And of course, I'd have all kinds of fun videos for you guys from there. And I hope if you are in London or in the UK and you get to go and I don't, that you make videos and share them with me or put them on your own channel and send me links and stuff because I would love to see how it all goes down at the Royal Albert Hall with Sumo. I think it's 5 days of Sumo. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. Iron Maiden, there you go. Iron Maiden, I remember that song from the 80s. Okay. I needed the 1786. Yeah, sorry. It was 872 and 529, and the t-shirt number was 20. Kin Tamayama Satsuma, you're asking about like he had that. Did he have some surgery or something recently? I think everything is okay. I haven't heard anything. Oh wait, Kin Tamayama. I'm thinking of Jesse. I'm thinking of the wrestler. You're talking about Kin Tamayama, the guy that made videos that lived in Israel. God, what's his name? I can't remember. Anyway, his channel is up there, but it's now called shoot. He's renamed it and he like Nord the Dresser or something. Does anyone know that's his new channel? Did somebody put the name of it? He was removed. Yeah, it's like Mord the Dresser or something like that. Yeah, and Moti, there you go. Yeah, so just look around. and he doesn't title them with anything sumo. It's like day 5 of our trip or something, and and that's the day 5 action. So he's still making videos, but I think he still gets it's hard. You can't do anything on YouTube anymore. You just can't. Nato's gotten hit. GR Sumo, there is still a tip jar. I've left it open, and some people still feel like they want to just send me $20. Hey, love what you do, and I love that. So I always send a reply to anybody that sends money there, and I've got about 5 people over there, uh, who still send money to that PayPal account once a month, every month, that have been doing it for years, and I really appreciate those people. And I need to email them and say, hey, okay, are you on Patreon? Because if you're not, you should not send me this money. You should, pay Patreon and join, because you obviously want to watch sumo. But anyway, I did that when I made the transition, and most of the people stopped sending me money monthly over there, but about 5 people still do, and it's crazy. But yeah, the tip jar is always down in the doobly doo. So if you ever feel the need, I appreciate it. And getting paid in dollars, which is PayPal and Patreon, really helps me because the exchange rate is so bad. So that's really hurt me in the past couple of years, trying to send money home to America to pay for bills, and when I was helping my dad and things like that. So getting paid in dollars is much better. But yeah. Oh, his videos are only up for 24 hours, Ned says. Okay. Nato is still doing videos. It's just you got to find him. So yeah, it's sad, that you have to play this little cat and mouse. I'm glad that I've been able to transition over to the other site, and mostly it's gone okay. I don't want to jinx it. And they're leaving me alone, maybe because it's behind a paywall now. I have a bunch of people though. I just passed 700 members, but about 500 of those are paid members, and like 200 people are free members over on Patreon, but there's almost nothing for them to see. So maybe they just want to be notified when things get out or something. Um, but yeah, unfortunately, there's not a lot over there when you're a free member that you can look at. So, but people do sign up for free membership over there. So anyway, yeah. Twitch, yeah, a lot of people stream the Abema feed nowadays, but I'm assuming it gets cut down by the people that are looking for copyright. Yeah, digging for gold in Alaska, that's awesome. Yeah, no, I mean I get it. I mean I wasn't resentful when they took my channel down. It was just sad. I knew it was going to happen one day. I just wish they had an equally interesting alternative for us foreign fans. Because I know if I stop doing this, which I will eventually, and I move back to America, how am I going to watch sumo? Like where's me for me when I need it, when I'm living not in Japan anymore? And I think at that point, you can watch the NHK highlights, but they're so they're 24 hours behind. And the world's, NHK World, things like that. Some people tell me there's this JME TV or something if you're in North America, but you have to pay. It's almost like a cable channel. And then it's like live. So you have to get up. If you live in California, sumo's on like at midnight to 2 a.m. or something like that. So who can do that if you have a regular life or a regular job? Oh, I'm getting some super chats. Have a vegan sandwich in the UK for me. Thank you, Satsuma. I appreciate it. What can I do? I can do a heart. There we go. Somebody else sent me something up here. Oh, Wegzen sent me 99 euros. Does that buy me an ice cream? There used to be this thing in England called a 99 flake. And it was this like soft serve cone, and they'd put this chocolate, like Kit Kat kind of thing. It was called a Cadbury Flake. Oh, it's so delicious. Into your ice cream, and it was 99p, 99 cents, 99 pence. And oh, I used to love it when I was a kid, and I would go, because I used to go to England all the time when I was a child, and we would go back to visit relatives. Yeah, sometimes the NHK highlights don't even get posted to YouTube, Blue Sky. I get you. It's like they did the Sumo Prime Time and they're trying to reach out, but then how hard can it be? Hire me, I'll do it. I mean, there's got to be somebody that would step up and go, okay, I'll stay up. It finishes at 6 p.m. I'll edit the video from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. and put it up in a timely manner, and you can pay me or whatever. I mean, come on. But yeah, and I know foreign fans. There's so many foreign tourists in Japan these days because of the yen dollar exchange rate that want to go see sumo, that pay a lot of money to buy those tickets and go every year. And they just don't seem to care. They just want to appeal mostly to their Japanese fan base. Oh, thank you, Eli. That's very nice of you. Small gift for London. Awesome, awesome, awesome. 30 ice creams, 99 euros buys you 30 ice cream. That's true. But that was 0.99, right? 0.99. That's like a dollar, right? Or 1 euro. 99 euros. Hey, I'm not going to say no. But no, you don't send me 99 euros. There's other people that need that money way more than I do. All right. Yeah, and it's just, yeah, what can we say? Um, and I was even talking on my Patreon videos the other day. It's like, why have they not brought back the second person in the booth, to be with Murray or Raja or Ross or whoever's doing the play-by-play? They need that second person. The Japanese announcer always gets like a really cool person. Taka Keisho was the announcer the other day. Today it was Ayanomi. They get Okonomi was. I was so excited, but I didn't watch that feed very much. But yeah, they get former wrestlers, they get other interesting people, they get celebrities, Japanese celebrities who like sumo go in there. And so why can't they have one even if it's just on the weekends? The first Sunday, the two middle weekend days, and the last 2 days, 14 and 15, have a second person in the booth so they don't have to talk the whole time for 2 hours all by themselves. Um, I don't know. I don't know what the setback is there. Okay. Okay. I think that'll do it. We've been online for an hour now. So we picked our numbers. We looked at day 8. I think I showed you everything I needed to share. You guys did the poll. Thank you so much for that. Continue to follow Twitter. I retweeted a lot of the Terunofuji videos. Tomorrow, well, maybe in this video, but tomorrow, maybe when I go back to the regular Sumo Summary show, I'll put all the links to all the Terunofuji videos down in the description. There is one for his press conference. I haven't watched it yet. Somebody sent me the link. It's on a YouTube channel, the official sumo in Japanese YouTube channel. I haven't watched it yet to see if you can turn on captions, because for most of you, if I put it up there but it's all in Japanese, it doesn't do you much good. But the Isagahama one that I posted, you could turn on the English captions, which was really wonderful. So my Twitter handle is, I'll put it here in the chat. It's sumo_Jason. And Blue Sky, what am I on Blue Sky? Let me think. Hold on, let me pull it up real quick. I think it's something very similar, but I'm not sure. Blue Sky. There I am. sumojason.bsky.social. So basically just Sumo Jason. And you can find me there. So I have 214 followers on Blue Sky, and on X, Twitter, I have 5,275 followers. So still X is the main place. And there's such a great sumo community there. I retweet a lot of stuff, and it's how I get a lot of my news. A lot of people over there are very good. They find Japanese articles, they translate them into English, they find pictures and all kinds of things. So yeah, it's definitely worth. If you're on either of those platforms, it's worth following me for Sumo. Obviously, you get barraged for 15 days, and then it kind of goes silent, right? So you got to just be ready for a lot of retweets and stuff if you're going to follow me during Sumo time. So okay, I think Ben one. I think it is a leftover of COVID. That's when they started. They obviously took the guy out of the booth, the second person, and they just have never brought them back, and it's just sad. So uh, oh, okay. Weg was then said he sent it to me, and you can turn on captions for the Terunofuji retirement press conference. So that's great. I'll share that link tomorrow. Um, and the only thing I didn't look at, and I'm not going to do it now, but you can look at it. You've been looking at it. Is who's in the lead in the contest. So check that out if you're in the contest. Good luck. You still have a week to go, and there'll be some good prizes. The brand new calendar will be a prize in the contest, as well as a Tagata prize from Jeff and the crew over at buysumotickets.com. So very good. Okay. Thanks, everybody. I hope you have a good rest of most of you are Saturday. Your Saturday is about to happen, or it's happening. For me, my Saturday is over. I'm about to go to bed. But Sunday, I'll get up. I'll put up the first half matches from day 7. Of course, day 8 matches will go up on Patreon as normal. And we'll continue. I'll do my best during the week to still, use my DVR and put up some good match coverage for you from Monday to Friday. But of course, I've got work every day, so just be patient. But I appreciate your support here. Thank you for all the thumbs ups and all of you guys that came by tonight. And yeah, he's still injured, Samantha. So I just wanted to find out. Do you know, Samantha? I'll hang on for a second in case you hear me. Do you know where he is? What his rank is? I need to look that up. But Satsuma, Nan, Lauren, Chi, everybody that's saying Ned, Joseph, thank you. Thanks for the stream. ABCD guy says, I'm in the lead. Excellent. If you're one of the people that's in the top 3 positions in the contest, you are setting yourself up to do well. So Makushta 41. Thank you, Samantha. I'm going to go check that out. Okay. Yeah. Thanks everybody for watching, and we'll maybe do this again next Saturday for day 14. I love chatting with you guys live like this for a Sumo summary show. So maybe in a week we'll do it again. Okay. Take care. Peace. See ya.